and I will be today's moderator. I will tell you more about me in a few minutes to come. But for now, I just wanted to give you a warm welcome. Please feel free to grab something to eat. And this is going to be an amazing... And what I wanted you to note right now is that there are QR codes displayed. On the QR codes, you'll find the agenda, a link to this event for the people that would want to follow live. Please share the link. And you also, I know a lot of people want pictures. You also find pictures uploaded, so make sure to scan the QR codes displayed all over the room. Please also note that there are interpretation services, and for French, we have channel 2, channel 3 for Portuguese. And if you have any challenges, feel free to let me know as I step down, and we will try to support. Also for the restrooms, just a quick announcement. When you get out, it is on the far right, so make sure that you're not lost somewhere. But in case you are, there's also a reception for M Hotel. We can support you. Thank you very much again for being here, and I hope we all enjoy today's session. And as we wait for a few people to arrive, as it is a beautiful morning, but a rainy morning as well in Kigali, we're waiting for a few more people to arrive. We will begin shortly. I hope you network, connect with people around, and enjoy the morning. Thank you very much. I tend to do that until I get everyone's attention. Good morning once again. Yes, awesome. A very good morning to you once again. My name is Annette Nizergwa, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's session. I'm here for a quick run-through of what we're going to do today, but basically, mainly the announcements that I want you to keep in mind or consider before we start. Please note that there are QR codes displayed all over the room on the wall. Please feel free to scan the QR code. We have information. If you haven't registered, be sure to register using that QR code. But the same QR code also has a link that leads you to this session. So for people who are not attending here live, who are not with us in the room, you can share this link with them for them to follow. Please also note that we have interpretation services, and we have channel 2 for those that are in the room, channel 2 for French, and channel 3 for Portuguese. I am aware that you would be stuck at this moment, especially those that have not been at M Hotel before, and you would need internet access. So I'd like to tell you what the password is. For the first time, someone is announcing a password on a microphone. But yes, the password for M Hotel Internet is *888, then *9. 8 4 times, then 9 4 times. 8888, then 9999. That's the password, internet password. I would like to also inform you that we'll be waiting for a few more other people for us to begin, but we should be beginning shortly. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me or the technical team behind, and they will be here to support. One last more announcement, but that I find very important to note. For the people not watching live and are here with us, the restrooms are at the far right when you get out, at the far right. Please be sure to ask in case you're lost. We also have a reception for M Hotel that the people are willing to support. So welcome to today's session, and I'm looking forward to hearing from the 8 innovators from South Sudan, Mozambique, Kenya, and Madagascar, telling us about their innovations in sexual and reproductive health as well as climate change, addressing climate change, addressing sexual and reproductive health challenges. So I hope this is an exciting session for you as it is for me. Enjoy and sit back and network and talk to people as we wait to start. And I promise we'll be beginning shortly. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yes, thank you. I want such energy for innovators, for investors, for people who are ready to make a change and address climate change and also ensure that SRA challenges are addressed using innovative approaches. So I'm hoping that energy will be the same energy we will keep all through. My name is Annette, and I've introduced myself and my name for a couple of times now. But now I will get into who I am and why I'm here. My name is Annette Nizergwa. I am Rwandan, and I'm here to be today's moderator, but also to enjoy the amazing session. By background, for the past 7 years, I've been working in the field of sexual and reproductive health, and currently I work specifically in innovation in sexual and reproductive health. I am the program manager for a program called Hanga Sexual and Reproductive Health Program. The Hanga Sexual and Reproductive Health Program is an initiative of the Ministry of ICT and Innovation of Rwanda. And specifically what this program does is we've been empowering young people across sub-Saharan Africa with the financial and the technical support needed to innovate in sexual and reproductive health, specifically using technology. One more thing, I'm very passionate about the meaningful inclusion and participation of young people, and which is why I'm very excited to be here. And I believe that UNFPA, among other partners, are really doing the right thing by letting young people take on the lead and make sure that they're the ones that are providing the solutions of today's challenges. That's enough about me, and today's session we will be having 8 innovators, 8 inspiring innovators. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a round of applause and flowers for that. Yes. So we have 8 innovators in the room that are representing countries Madagascar, Mozambique, Kenya, and South Sudan. And these innovators will be sharing with us what their solutions are in sexual and reproductive health and climate change. And I am very eager to hear from them. But specifically speaking, today they will also be pitching. So it is not just showing us what they're doing, but it's going to be a little tense. So I hope you're there with us. I would like to start without further ado, and because I cannot say it all, and we have the country representative of UNFPA Rwanda in the room, I would like to welcome him for the welcoming remarks, and I would like you all to join me, yes. Some people already are like, yes, thank you. But before you join me, I love announcements that come in moments like these. Will you look at your neighbor for now? Yes, if you have a neighbor. Now, if you're okay, please, can you take a selfie, post on your social media, that is if you're okay with it, and then I'm going to tell you a few hashtags. You can hashtag climate change Hacklab, hashtag climate change Hacklab, and as you write it, it should automatically show because it's the hashtag we're using. Climate change Hacklab, hashtag innovation, hashtag, of course, Youth Connect Africa, hashtag YCA. Is that good? Yes. So hashtag climate change Hacklab, hashtag YCA, and hashtag, what's the last one? Innovation. Thank you very much. I'll give you only 10 seconds to do that, and we'll get right into it as we welcome the country representative. 10 seconds from now. Good work. Thank you. I see everyone is trying to do it. As you do that one last time, I would like to remind the room that we have interpretation services, channel 2 for French and channel 3 for Portuguese. Thank you for doing this exercise with me. Now, without further ado, please allow me to welcome Dr. Adelakin, the country representative of UNFPA Rwanda. A round of applause, please. Welcome, Dr. Adelakin.
Good morning, everyone. So I've been asked to, sometimes I'm confusing the two. I don't know if it's an opening remarks or a welcome remarks, but I guess I'll just have to do the two. And you can see I came with my iPad because I thought this is an hackathon event. I should at least be able to hack my own speech through my iPad. And but unfortunately, I had to change my mind this morning. After seeing the panel of judges, I don't think they will give me any consideration as representative. So, and I don't think I can compete with the young people with all the innovative works that they want to show us. So I changed my mind. I'm not going to use my iPad to put myself in competition with the young people. So I'm going to go to my traditional way of speech, which is actually to look at my hard copy paper. So, to welcome everyone again, just to recognize the presence of government officials that might be here, development partners, the young people, my UN colleagues, of course, the stakeholders and partners, but most especially our colleagues from our regional office, led by Ms. Sami Sayed. I don't want to pronounce the whole full name, so I don't massacre it. But I want to welcome our colleagues from the regional office that traveled from South Africa, and they're the ones that are making this event, holding. Also to recognize all the participants that have come from different countries in the region to attend this important event. And to say that it's with great pleasure and satisfaction that I welcome you all to this event that is on climate change and SRH. It's an innovation Hacklab, which is the final event of a long-standing event that has been happening over the last few months. And I don't envy the innovators, because I know for many people, correlating climate change with health, and especially sexual and reproductive health, is a very difficult task. So I want to congratulate you for not only having the knowledge of what that interrelationship is, but also having the courage to come out to share your ideas and to profile solutions to the issues that we are dealing with. The Let's Hack Climate Change initiative was launched this year by UNFPA in partnership with the African Development Bank, and is part of a broader effort to support innovative, community-based solutions that foster resilience to climate change. This event is bringing young people with great minds together from countries like South Sudan, Kenya, Madagascar, and Mozambique to develop cutting-edge ideas that will not only address sexual and reproductive and rights challenges that are exacerbated by climate change, but also strengthen our adaptive capacities to be able to respond to the needs of the most vulnerable populations, especially women and girls. UNFPA believes young people should be empowered and supported to develop innovative solutions that would improve adaptive capacity of the communities where they come from. To fulfill their potential, we believe young people need to have access to accurate human rights-based sexual and reproductive health services and information. At UNFPA, we take the issue of climate change and its impact on sexual and reproductive health very seriously, as researchers have shown that climate change significantly worsens maternal and neonatal health. And there have been evidence that have shown that just 1 degree rise in temperature in a week before delivery increases the risk of stillbirth by at least 6%. Stillbirth is when the child dies in the mother's womb. We also know that climate change has devastating impacts on humanitarian needs, and this impact is expected to double in the next 6 years. This is by 2030. And you'll agree with me that the state in which our world is today, the least that we need is another humanitarian issue to add to what we already suffer as a continent, or even as a world in general. Climate change strains our response to sexual and reproductive health and gender-based violence issues where they've devastated communities, where we've seen that when there is drought, the most affected are usually women and girls, and the drought will make sure that they have to travel to far distances to get water and food to provide themselves and their family the basic things that they need. And we know that the more exposure people have to long distance travel from where they're from, the more exposure they are likely going to have to gender-based violence. Today at this event, we celebrate the culmination of the work of the 2024 Climate Hacklab. The 8 winning solutions from our country-level Hacklabs are here to pitch their groundbreaking innovations. In Unfpa and partners here present, we are not only supporting innovations, but we are building a future where young people, and women especially, are leaders in climate resilience, where sexual and reproductive health and rights services are available and accessible to all, and where communities are empowered to thrive despite the odds posed by climate change and other ills in our society. As I conclude, I'm eager to learn from the brilliant innovations that the young people have come up with that will help us accelerate the empowerment of youth in the country where we work now, in Rwanda, and in other countries in Africa, and of course from the countries that you are all from as well, in order to help us address the impacts of climate change on extra rich and rights. As we listen to these speeches, let us remember that in the broader context, the challenges of climate change and sexual and reproductive health and rights are deeply interconnected, and the solutions must have an inclusive and transformative impact. So again, as I end, I think it's good for us as development workers and even as young people to always remember to take a step backwards to see what the issue is so that we can come up with solutions that can address the challenges that we face. And I'll end with a story that I heard a few weeks ago. A friend of mine was telling me, when we were talking about perspective, he said there were 4 engineers in a car that was traveling on the road, and the car broke down. The first person to speak was the mechanical engineer. He said, "Oh, I think it's the coil that has a problem. Let's remove the coil and replace it." The chemical engineer said, "No, I think the fuel is what is faulty. We can drain all the fuel in the car and replace it." The other engineer suggested something else, but I'm more interested in the computer engineer that said, "Why don't we all at least come out of the car first so that we can check what is wrong with this car before we all profile solutions to what the problem is?" So for me, that's actually, it resonated with me, because sometimes when we're within an issue, we try to look for solutions without actually understanding what the issues are. And that's why we invite young people that are not necessarily working in development, that can have the better perspective to look at issues beyond our own perspective, to profile solutions for us that can be impactful and workable for the society as large. Thank you very much. I'll be also listening to the pitch, and I'm happy that I'm not part of the competitors, so I kept my iPad away. Thank you very much.
You already know who else is happy that they're not competing today. That's me, your moderator. I'm glad I'm not competing, but I'm really glad to be witnessing your pitch. So up next, we'll be looking at a video that will be showing us how the burden of climate change is impacting sexual and reproductive health and rights. And this video is about 2 minutes, so I'll invite you all to follow attentively. Thank you.
Today, I want to share about a crisis, not in the making, but one that's already here. Deadly floods, raging fires, Today, I want to share about a crisis, not in the making, but one that's already here. Deadly floods, raging fires, searing heat waves, punishing drought. The consequences of climate change spare no one. During climate crises, gender-based violence increases, rates of child marriage rise, maternal health and birth outcomes worsen. Unfpa is among the first on the ground when climate disasters strike, ensuring access to sexual and reproductive health care, caring for survivors of gender-based violence, offering mental health and psychosocial support. We must work together to end this crisis. Let us all defend our shared planet and help protect the most vulnerable.
Thank you very much for following, and I hope this video will also be available for whoever would like to watch it later on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid, or even happy at the same time, that we are reaching to the very moment, the pitching. Yeah! So that was a moment of silence to see if the innovators are ready. But before we get into it, I'll give us some ground rules. We're about to have a pitching session where we will give the 8 finalists an opportunity of making a case for their investment in their solution or innovation. And this will strengthen the capacity of young people and women to convey the story of their innovation, making the pitch more impactful. We'll have a panel of judges, and to which they will showcase their solutions as the power of youth in building community resilience against climate change. We also aim in these pitches to expose Unfpa innovation and solution to the investment community for an opportunity towards investment readiness. So if you're here and you're an investor, please note. 2 winners at the end will be selected, and each will receive 10,000 USD to grow their innovative solutions. So rule number 1, each innovator will have 7 minutes to pitch, 5 minutes for Q&A from the panel of judges, questions and answers from the innovator. But the most interesting part for me, it's not just the judges that will be working with the innovators. The audience participate. The audience will join the event as to vote for the innovator, which we are calling the popular vote. Once every innovator has pitched, we ask you to vote on your phones by scanning the QR codes that will be displayed on the screen. So once you vote on the QR codes, who your favorite or who you think is more competent for you, if you choose them, that's what when we gather the responses from all of you, that is what we'll call the popular vote, and it will go to one particular person. So the audience will keep watching. The audience that is watching virtually, can also vote online. Please note that the popular vote does not influence the judging. So the choice of the judges will remain uninfluenced. And please vote freely, and to ensure that that happens, I'll also try to see if we can vote as private as possible. So if you're voting, you don't need to really tell your neighbor who you're voting for. Vote as private as possible, and then the rest will be the job of the judges. Again, to note, the popular vote is not necessarily part of the winners. It's just another separate winner who's not in the top two that I just mentioned. So to clarify that. Now, I would like to also let you know that we have a panel of judges who I want to introduce. Some of them are in the room, and one of them will be joining us virtually, and I'll introduce one by one. A few of them are already seated here. So I will start with Dr. Renata Talarico, the UNFPA Rwanda's Deputy Representative. Dr. Talarico is UNFPA's Rwanda country representative, as I just mentioned, and she has extensive 15 years of experience in working in public health and human rights at national and regional levels. Prior to her current position, she served at the UNFPA East and South African region, SRO region, and as a youth team lead, where she worked with 23 countries on issues related to adolescent sexual reproductive health and rights and youth empowerment. Would you please wave for the audience, Dr. Talarico? Thank you. And the next judge, judge number 2, is Mr. Sam Masikini, Youth Innovator and Inspire Learn, at Inspire Learn. So Sam Masikini is a dynamic technology entrepreneur from Malawi, renowned for his innovative contributions, particularly in e-learning, AI, and information technology. With a background in information and communication technology, he has founded and led initiatives such as Inspire Learn, an offline e-learning platform recognized by the World Summit Awards for Digital Excellence. Inspire Learn also won at the 2022 UNFPA Early and Unintended Pregnancy Hacklab. So another Hacklab that happened 2 years ago. We have another judge, judge number 3, and I love that the screens are focusing on them, and shortly you also see cards with their details. The next judge, judge number 4, is Ms. Zainab Yunusa, UNFPA SRO Gender and Climate Change, and will be joining us virtually. So for your attention, please watch the screen. And I will request the technical team to let us see Ms. Zainab Yunusa. Ms. Zainab, as they project, and I'll introduce her, is a feminist and gender and development practitioner working to promote women and girls' rights issues in areas of sexual and reproductive health, climate change, and meaningful youth engagement through research, policy advocacy, and programs. She's a delegate of the UNFCCC's Women and Gender Constituency and member of its SRHR and Climate Justice Coalition. You're welcome, Ms. Zainab. Thank you. Up next, we have our other judge, who is Mr. Bernice Byamukama from the African Development Group. Bernice Byamukama is a development economist at the African Development Bank Group with over 20 years of experience in macroeconomics, environment economics, and private sector development. He currently serves as senior macroeconomist again, leading Rwanda's country economist program. So those are the 4 judges we have, ladies and gentlemen, for the innovators that will be pitching today. A round of applause for all the judges. And may I request now at once for the judges to just wave to the audience. Yes, can we also have Zainab say hello to us to make sure that we're still aligned? Yes.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Zainab. Now, for the innovators, like I mentioned earlier, we have innovators from Kenya, from Madagascar, from Mozambique, and from South Sudan. And we'll have Gabriel Moingo Ngure. Please stand up, Gabriel. A round of applause as every innovator stands up. Gabriel's innovation solution focuses on creating eco-friendly 3D printing filaments from discarded plastic bottles. Amazing. A round of applause once again. Again, from the same country, we have Eli Savatia Otiende. Please stand up, Eli. Thank you. Ellie's innovative solution is an AI-powered mobile platform revolutionizing communication for deaf women and girls in Kenya's climate-vulnerable regions. A round of applause for it. From Madagascar now. From Madagascar, we have Mahandri and Ramae. Please stand up for recognition. Mahandri's solution is an AI Another one from South Sudan. Other innovators from South Sudan. The first innovator is Grace Passal. GASO's innovative solution is a platform designed to allow communities to report infrastructure damage and sexual and reproductive health needs during climate disasters. Would you please stand up for recognition, Grace? A round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Up next, we have Patricia Madong. Patricia, would you please stand up for recognition? Patricia's Madong solution is a mobile application that incorporates information about sexual and reproductive health and climate change in Arabic and English. A round of applause for all the innovators. So, I can see that there's one other innovator. Do we have all the innovators in the room? I can see they're all mainly in that section. Just to make sure we have all innovators in the room. Do we have all innovators in the room? Have you all heard your names? Someone has not heard their name. I'll make sure your name is heard. Which country are you from, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Martha and I'm from Mozambique and I'm happy to be here.
Yes. So, to be specific, we have Marta Luisa Naonombe, who I introduced first, but there's also Marta Vanya Otela. So these are two different people. And Marta's solution designs build sustainable bicycles using fishing nets and plastic residues. Is that correct? You're welcome. Thank you very much, and welcome to this session once again. A round of applause. So the innovators will come and will introduce themselves and their solutions. Like I said, they will have 7 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes from the judges. Now allow me to start with the first innovator that will be pitching. Are we ready? Yes. Technical team, are we ready? Yes. Good. And the innovators, are we ready? Yes. Good. So we will be starting with Eli Savatia. And they will be pitching for 12 minutes, 7 minutes for pitching, and 5 minutes for questions and answers. Welcome on stage, Eli Savatia. Some energy in the room. Thank you.
Your time begins now.
Did you know that 5% of the world's population lives with hearing disability? And 90% of this group comes from emerging markets and developing countries. And see this, in Africa alone, 40 million people have hearing disability. And when we look at this community, they are further marginalized when we look at the impacts of climate change and SRHR. So why are we solving this problem? My name is Eli. I'm the founder and CEO of Signus. And at Signus, we are bridging disability and communication gaps, empowering deaf girls and women in SRHR and beyond. And why are we solving this problem? So communication barriers are the #1 problem that deaf women, girls face on a day-to-day basis. So look at the possibility where a deaf woman is probably talking to a medical health practitioner, or they're displaced. They really struggle to communicate. So in this case, interpreters are very expensive, $20 USD to upwards of $200 USD in a day. And there's less that has been done to really build tools to effectively integrate this community into these systems. Let me show you what we've built. We built TOP by Signus, which interprets text and speech into lifelike sign language, lifelike avatars with real-time precision. So I'd like to think of these as a visual Google Translate specifically for sign language. And this is the unique value proposition. So the core features are, so think text and speech to sign language back to text and speech, all at the comfort of the device with offline connectivity, real-time processing, and we are achieving this by a lifelike 3D avatar with natural signing movements, all very much African-centric. And looking at the market side, currently WHO is prospecting over 466 million people with hearing disability, and it's very alarming if you look at this on a long-term perspective, which is pretty much, and milestones. So we've built a digital sign language interpreter. It's working. Text to speech, it's validated, tested with the deaf community in Kenya, with 4 SRHR organizations drafting MOUs, and our data set has over 2,300 sign language glosses, local infrastructure, very customized to the African market. So if you talk of accents, local accents and all that. And just recently we won the Inclusive Africa Award in Africa. Here's our business model with results like that. Freemium, software as a service, B2B2C. So we work with NGOs, individuals, hospitals, healthcare providers, primarily in SRHR. So the app is free for use for daily interpretation needs. Then we charge $10 to access premium features. As for NGOs, we're charging 1,000 USD. And the ROI for that, a normal NGO, medium NGO, spends roughly 180,000. And with Signus, we're prospecting them to save approximately 600,000 with an ROI of 38%. And our derived competitive advantage is that we've built this very closely with the deaf community. So it's very customized for the African market, instant access, very easy, quick, and convenient in terms of sign language interpretation, even when disaster strikes. And works anywhere on device. Here's the team, a very young, vibrant team with expertise across AI, computer vision, 3D, motion capture. We have a global team lead in our team. We have one of our AI leads formerly built the first fixed-wing drone in the country. And we've also been privileged to win the Commonwealth Secretary General's Award for Development and the Presidential Innovation Award. In terms of our advisory, we're being backed by a very strong advisory with expertise across disability, business development, startups, particularly both in the business world and in the development world, and with support from Global Disability Innovation Hub. And our ask is 60,000 USD, which will go into enhancing our AI capabilities, preparing for market launch, scaling applications, and working with over 5,000 girls next year. And our call to action is we're empowering deaf girls and women to SRHR. And we see ourselves more like a technology partner. And we want to partner with everyone in this ecosystem to make them more accessible to the deaf community. And we're building a feature where these individuals have access to equal SRHR and healthcare.
You have less than 2 minutes to go.
Demo, please. Okay, as we wait for the demo, I'll just take you through how the user journey map and how our software works. So we built a digital sign language interpreter. So think of this as a visual Google Translate for sign language. And ideally, a medical health practitioner would meet a deaf person. And they are not culturally sensitive to this deaf community. So this is how we collect sign language data. We work with deaf people. We have a specialized garment that has sensors all over. Then we have them sign, we collect sign language data. When we collect sign language data, we're able to train our AI and also our pump animations that we feed into our technology. And I think the demo was playing when we lost it. Just fast forward. Yeah. So this is basically how we collect sign language data. Then we should have a demo playing of how the software works. So this is the MVP that we have right now. A doctor appointment. And in the doctor appointment, I want a female doctor. So we type in text. Would you want a female doctor for examination? Then signs that with like a minimal latency, that's a second. So the applications for this are cut across.
Time is up. Time is up. Question and answer time. You got 5 minutes.
Okay. How do we proceed? Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation. Well, it's very interesting. Definitely, it is clear that you have designed the solution based on the target audience that you had in mind. I wanted to ask one question. I think it's a very straightforward and very useful tool. The only one question that I have, you showed us the projection of from the WHO data of people with deaf disabilities that would be your overall target audience. But my question would be, how many of them have a smartphone? And that I think is also to be considered as you define your target audience and your market. If you have had that consideration, and if there are elements of what you have planned to do that can also run on feature phones, for instance, if there's something that you have thought about as you were creating this tool. Thanks.
Thank you for your question. So ideally what you're looking at is, if you look at the smartphone adoption rate currently, look at the early age of the internet, how people adopted into computers. So we are basically building for the future. A smartphone is pretty much everything healthcare, everything fintech is pretty much a one-stop shop for access. And how are we looking at marginalized communities that do not have access to smartphones? So ideally, if you look at the core of our technology, we are able to pump out information in sign language. And so the smartphone is one medium. Other than that, with our infrastructure, we're able to pump out animations. And we've talked to SRHR organizations which do run community programs, which run a lot of programs in communities. And looking at the medium of which they communicate to these groups is very visual thing. And that's another avenue we're looking at, particularly videos in sign language.
Maybe my last question, thank you very much, would be, I saw you highlighted a 38% return on investment. Would you explain to me how you arrived to the 38%?
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. So how we arrived at that 38%, so ideally we talked to SRHR organizations in Kenya and observed how much they spend. So these are large and medium NGOs. They spend roughly 180,000 Kenyan shillings. So that's spread out through the year, and our cost of 1,000, which is cheaper, more affordable, countered with cumulatively throughout the year we are saving them 600,000 Kenyan shillings. And comparing that to 180 times 12 comes to a 38% return on investment in remaining contribution into the systems.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Haley. That was really wonderful. Quick question. You did mention that the cost for the conventional way of hiring out translators cost from $20 to around like $20. I would like to know the unit cost for production of your devices, but also how much money are you saving as an alternative to the conventional way of translations?
So we built a software device. So this is a software that can be downloaded on mobile phones, on devices, laptops. And ideally, we've spent so far around $30,000 which we invested with a one-time investment into that suite that you saw there. That pretty much makes sure we collect sign language data more sustainably without additional costs. So looking at early next year, we start rolling this out with more organizations. That's how we're going to recoup back that money. But ideally, it's a more sustainable way on how we collect sign language data.
You have 1 minute.
I'm sorry, I was looking for the cost. Like, give me a number. Yes, how much are you saving when you look at it to deliver the actual service from the conventional translator to using the solution now?
Yeah, which I mentioned in the question that the fellow judge asked me on the 38% saving from normal interpretation and using our software. Around roughly 600,000 Kenyan shillings in a year for our person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And up next we'll have Grace Pascal. Please welcome to the stage for your pitch. A round of applause for Grace Pascal, please.
Grace, your time begins now.
Good morning to you all. My name is Grace Pascal, and I'm the co-founder of Report. Did you know that over 2 million people in South Sudan have been affected by severe floods since 2021? Picture I am, a 26-year-old woman who is heavily pregnant and lives in Upper Nile State. It rained heavily the previous night in her community, and she started to experience labor pains the next morning. She was going to Malakal State Hospital, but the roads were destroyed. In South Sudan, states like Upper Nile, Unity State, Warab State, and many other states are affected by severe floods that damage infrastructure, thus disrupting access to essential resources and sexual and reproductive health rights. In addition, there is lack of a reliable communication system and data collection system so that people can report the incidences that they face in their communities. So this leads to a delay, thus worsening the conditions of people in the vulnerable communities, meaning the people in rural areas. So that's where Report comes in. Report is a USSD/SMS community-focused platform that works offline, and it enables its users to report damage to infrastructure, report for sexual and reproductive health needs, request urgent assistance, then check the status of their reports. So these on the side are our unique value propositions. It's a dual-focused reporting system, both supporting report for damage to infrastructure and sexual and reproductive health reporting, then works offline by use of the USSD technology. Then it has a multilingual support, making it inclusive, supporting English, Arabic, then Kiswahili, because most people in our country, South Sudan, speak Arabic. Then it provides real-time mapping, meaning that the mappings are visually guided so that the response teams can work effectively. I think I'll come back to this slide at the end. Yes. So our project activities include planning and preparation, design and development, deployment and testing, then scaling and maintenance. So in design and planning, we shall initiate the project, then carry out the needs, assess the needs that we need, then design the system, develop it, then we have managed to complete developing the MVP, then deploy it in one of the flooded areas in South Sudan so that we can test it and get feedback back from the users. Then we scale it and implement it in more regions. So our market size, we have 2.7 million people in these states, Upper Nile, Unity State. So there are the flooded areas that we are looking at. Then as early 2024, we have 3.97 million active mobile users in South Sudan, then 117 international NGOs and 1,018 NGOs, then 40 plus active response teams. So our milestones, we have managed to complete building our MVP. Then our team recently participated in the D-Skills Innovative Sprinter program where we were able to gain more skills and knowledge about scaling our business and coming up with an innovation idea. And we have early adopter interests from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Response, then Save Life Initiative, South Sudan. Our revenue model is a subscription-based model where we shall gain money from the users of the platform, the responders, so that they can pay a subscription so that they can access that information. Then B2B, that is partnerships with the NGOs and governments, sponsorships and grants apply so that we can get more funding to implement our idea. Then advertising. Then our competitor analysis. M-Report works offline, then it is accessible in low connectivity areas. Then M-Report is also, it empowers communities to report and prioritize sexual and reproductive health rights alongside the disaster needs, then integrates both sexual and reproductive health reporting and infrastructure damage reporting. Then our target users. Our target users are mainly people who are affected by floods in Jonglei, Unity State, and Upper Nile. Then we have the flood response teams, which are the international NGOs and local NGOs that work in relation to that. Then the mobile connections in South Sudan, which are MTN, Zain, and Digital, so that they can help us integrate the USSD platform. So our team is comprised of 4 people.
You have less than 2 minutes.
Our team is comprised of 4 people, with 2 of them, with the 3 of us having a background in computer science, then one of our advisors, who is a climate resilience officer. Then our cost estimate is $15,000 US, which will be used for platform development, outreach and training, pilot launch, and data analytics. Then for more information about M-Report, you can reach me through the following. The last slide. Thank you.
Question and answer time. My timer. Your time begins now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Grace, for a very interesting innovation. Maybe to help me understand, have you already developed the app, or this is still a concept stage?
No, we have developed the MVP, but not the whole application, because it requires us to register the company and request for a USSD code from the National Communication Authority in our country that is in charge of issuing out the USSD codes to the individuals. So it's not yet in full form. We have developed it on our platform called Africa is Talking. Yes.
Maybe one question from me. Have you involved your beneficiaries or the potential beneficiaries in the development of the tool?
We consulted with the service providers in our country, that is MTN. They were the ones who gave us the guidance on the procedure of how we should register our company first before we come to the service providers. Then we also talked to a few people from the Unfpa to give us more knowledge, because they are, I think, the main organization in South Sudan that deals with sexual and reproductive health. They supply the needs to the people in the rural areas. The states, let me say states, not rural areas. Yes.
Thank you so much, Grace. Since this is still at the conceptual stage, I was more interested in their business model. As in the subscription, these I see vulnerable people that have been affected, traumatized. If you are to charge or have them run through a subscription model, how much would it be? And
to clarify, the subscription-based model will be paid by the people, the first responders who are accessing that information, because they will use the information for decision making or for knowing, okay, for data analysis, for knowing that most people, okay, like, let me say, in Malakal, Upper Nile, and Unity State, if most people in Malakal need sexual and reproductive health services, or condoms, or, how do I say this? I'm trying to look, or like first responders or something like that, they'll know that this community needs this most people, so they're paying for that information so they can use it. That's the subscription.
So maybe if I can follow up on that question. I think I understand, well, but I also wanted to ask some clarity. Usually when you give the subscription to an NGO, for instance, that NGO has to give access to your platform to the users, right? So like in this case, how do you, and that will be licenses being given to the direct user. How did you?
So our platform, since it's USSD, you know how you press a code and you pick an option. So now the user will type their location. It will ask you to type in your location. Then after describe either the damage to infrastructure or the need of sexual reproductive health services that you need.
There's a question online.
After that, the report is sent to the database system. On the database system, on one of the slides that I skipped that I was going to do at the end, the database system has portals where the specific responders can have access to that data. So they will be given a specific part to access that data only that they need. Not all of it at once or the whole platform. So they will have access, just like how a database has the administrator and other people below them. The database administrator is the one who gives authority to the whole database system. That will be a report management team.
Since your business is based on NGOs, you know, you are looking at selling your product to the NGOs, and that's your market. How do you plan for, you know, sustainability of your business in case these NGOs that are working that space have
the sustainability in terms of us mainly getting our support from the NGOs to develop those services, we shall have strong partnerships with specific NGOs that are committed to using this platform. We shall not just sign up somebody who will say they'll work for us, work with us for a short period of time and leave us. So we want to sign up NGOs and governments that are committed to using the platform. Thank you.
Now up next is Gabriel Maingo. A round of applause and good luck, Gabriel. Good luck to everyone. It's getting intense and intense. Have energy for the event.
Hello everyone. My name is Gabriel Maingo from Kenya, and let me give you a short story. Today morning, I was going through the names of the judges. I found one, Mr. Sam Masikini. So that word Masikini actually translates, it's a common word in Swahili, and it actually really relates to the people I normally work with. So I work with vulnerable people in our communities, and you'd find that most of the times, these vulnerable people, understanding even English sometimes is a problem. And they mostly result to using visual stuff in order to understand different topics, right? And I came to find out that this isn't even a common problem on vulnerable communities alone, but even most of us. So the problem that we as EcoPrint generation discovered is that we have a lack of visual aids for learners, especially in SRHR. And another problem that's there, that's also facing our vulnerable communities, is the plastic pollution crisis. 90% of plastic pollution is not recycled, and it normally just damages our ecosystem. So basically what we as EcoPrint generation do is that we take this plastic waste in our environment, then convert it to learning models for sexual reproductive health. So by doing so, our activities mostly involve collecting plastics through beach cleanups or community engagements. Then after getting these plastics, we're able to manufacture such models. Then after manufacturing these models, we're able to go to school reach outs and even sell to schools so that they can even use them in their environmental clubs. So our solution not only impacts our learners, helps them learn about sexual reproductive health, but also changes the mentality of plastic waste. Because you find that the biggest problem to plastic is that we view it as waste. You view water in that bottle as a resource, then after you're done with that bottle, what do? You just throw it away. But by doing so, we're able to show these kids that, hey, this plastic waste can actually make something that can benefit you, right? So the milestones that we've been able to achieve right now is that we've already reached out to one school, which is Miritini High School. The pictures of the learners are from that school, where we're able to impact over 300 students, and we've collected over 800 kilograms of plastic waste through multiple beach cleanups that we've been able to have. So our business revenue model is as we sell these models to schools who can afford it. And for the schools who can't afford it, we partner up with non-government organizations, where these non-government organizations are able to provide funds to get those models produced. Then we're able to supply it to schools to increase the impact. So currently, our competitor analysis, we see different organizations that mostly focus on creating curriculums for sexual reproductive health. But you'd notice that these organizations do not even produce these models that are to be used. So organizations as potential clients to our products, because they can use these products even in their sessions to educate people on sexual reproductive health. And because you can actually interact with the model, subjects like sanitation become really easy for these organizations to train their learners on. So our team comprises of people in different fields. So I am a 3D expert and an educator. I personally work with kids a lot, and I was able to even interact with a couple of kids with that model, where they were able to even identify different parts, and I feel like they'll even understand it better, and it will stick in their head better. Then we also have our environmental scientist, community engagement, and our professional CAD designer, who helps us create such detailed models. So, we have our advisory partners in the field of business, and even Tech Kids Africa, that's also an ed tech. They also help us come up with the curriculums in the correct manner. So our business revenue, basically, when we cut off all the costs, it costs us around 500 shillings to make that one model. Then depending on the complexity of the model, we're able to sell it at an average price of 1,000 Kenya shillings to 1,500 Kenya shillings. That's the range, depending on the complexity. So yeah, we're aiming to raise $13,580 where we'd have $3,800 that would go into getting more printers, because we currently have only one printer and our production capacity is low. We took 14 hours to actually print that one thing. And 1,000 would go to operating expenses, 780 to our scaling. Because we have a recycling machinery, we'd put some money into our recycling machinery. Then we also have 990 that would go into marketing. So yeah, help us make plastic waste benefit our communities by producing sexual reproductive health, and let SRH education be more efficient and accessible to all people in
You have less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be taking questions.
Question and answer time.
Yes. Should I start? I'll start.
Your time begins
quickly,
now.
Have you pre-tested it already?
Yes, we took it to a school. And we've already gotten one organization called Center for Development and Peace that we're actually going to supply these models to them for their classes around next week when I get back to Kenya.
Okay, yeah. And lastly, okay, first of all, great job. Let me start from there. Sorry, I went straight into the questions. Have you said you are targeting schools and NGOs. What about health facilities too? Because they do have an element of information and counseling. I think that could be another opportunity to expand your market. Have you thought about that?
No, I had not thought about that. That's actually something we can also work on doing. Okay. Thank you for that suggestion.
Great. Yeah. I'll give the floor to other colleagues.
Right.
Oh, let's give it the floor. Okay. Yes, let's give it the floor. Zainab, right?
Yes, thank you very much, Gabriel. That was quite inspiring. And my question, or maybe what I'd like you to better clarify, is in terms of, you said your competitor landscape is such that they are more curriculum-based. But then I'm also wondering, in terms of that information that would be on your visuals and your resources, how would you then collaborate with them in that essence, so that we're sure that what you are also, what you're giving out are SRHR education materials. So how would that interaction work?
Can I answer it? Yeah, so we actually look into coming into contact with such organizations, and because we don't really we don't have resources or curriculums that we make on our own, we plan on them using, we'd even test maybe like that model, give it out to them for testing, and maybe they can also see maybe how better the learners of SRH topics are while interacting with these models. I feel like we can just collaborate with them that way. We're able to sell it to them, then they're able to use them for their trainings.
Gabriel, that was really good, really wonderful. I've worked with 3D and plastic manufacturing. Yeah. I think mine is just a comment is, I think maybe because I know these take a lot of time. This take a lot of time, especially if you want to look at the fine quality and durability as well. Maybe you should also look into casting. Other than the 3D printers, because that one also you need to have a large feed of electricity. So just adding it up to operational costs, try to look into casting as well, but otherwise this is a really good initiative to use plastic waste for SRH education. Thank you.
You have less than 2 minutes.
Okay, any questions from anyone else? Oh, okay, that's a lot of time. No question? Anyone? Anyone who's curious? Yes, please.
Thank you. I have a question on the actual product.
Yeah.
On the product and the competitors that you spoke of. You spoke of competitors that are more to do with the use of the product rather than the production of the product. And I'm just wondering, there are already companies making this kind of IEC sort of material. What is your take on your product and how it competes against those? Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, our product is made out of plastic waste, which is like you see all of it in our environment. By doing so, our product doesn't only target at
you have less than a minute.
Yeah, it doesn't only target at making people learn SRH topics, but also trying to make people be conscious about plastic waste. So by making it out of plastic waste, the learners who are our younger generation, they're able to grow up knowing that this plastic waste that we throw away, or that wrapper of a sweet that you normally use, let me not throw it away. Let me take it somewhere where it can be recycled so that it can even help other learners learn about SRH topics or even other topics in biology too. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. And before we take a break, a short health break for us to stretch our legs and come back to the pitches, I would like to welcome the fourth innovator, who is Henin Sowa Rafino Manjato, and welcome on stage. A round of applause, please. Some energy once again. Thank you.
Your time begins now.
Mesdames et messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen, a member of the jury and dear participants. Imagine a young woman who's affected by climate change, but become leader of the residents. And education goes through games, and these games contribute to a lasting future. That's what we do. We change challenges into opportunities. For Madagascar, statistics show that many young girls become pregnant before 18. Then they have many types of discrimination, and they are also the first to get to suffer from climate change. And the Malagasy don't have access to smartphones, and most of those, a good percentage of those who are beyond 15 are illiterate. So we have sensitization on SSR, on sexual reproductive, and then we do adapted pedagogy with them. And there's the gamification, we then have interactive solutions, and then so we have participatory engagement of the learners, and this works on the illiteracy levels. That means even those who don't know how to read and write, they can learn from these games. In the contrary of our solution, which requires access to internet and smartphone, even so this solution can work in areas that have issues of connectivity. Gamification encourages participants to involve actively and to receive information even in a passive way. And you develop 3 games, so it's an educational platform to for people to understand the menstrual periods cycle. And there's the Iraq Anake. It's a game of cards, interactive game. It's promote sexuality. And then there's Iraka Maitso. It works on the protection of the environment. We have defined how to we launched in 2024. We developed 500. We have adapted also our games to the needs of the market. In 2026, we're going to go to the regional level, and then we're going to have a digital solution in 2020. We're going to have more diversification of our content, while ensuring these games are meeting the purpose. We can base on success of SOP. This is our agency specialized in the gamification, and so now there are more than 600 community on Facebook, and thanks to the animation, we have already more than 200 have played, and that shows the capacity to mobilize people. And the trust that we have from institutions and enterprises this is a solid base on which you can build more success. We have 3 formats. there's for personal, familiar, and the format, training kit format with training of the trainers, which can be ideal for association and schools, and the animation format. That means the client have animation service and sensitization, so ideal for the events. And on our business model, it depends. We have a revenue from international NGOs, association, companies, and schools, and then we have event organization, and also the general public. 2 minutes. We have a team of young women like myself, and there's Mia, it's a business developer, and then there's we have also a doctor, and Clara. And then for our in terms of expenses, we're going to spend in research and development, and then we're going to go to marketing and advertising, and the rest is going to be operating cost. We're going to observe on this graph of our revenue for the 4 years. So we have up to $14,000 this year, and this is going to be increasing with time. So Hierarchy is not just more than just a game. It's there to transform the life of young girls, to reinforce the resilience to climate change. So want them to be actors to fight against climate change. And this work helps us to empower vulnerable communities, and we really believe in the real change based on the game, and we invite you to be part of this transformation. Thank you.
Question and answer.
Let me check if, let's check online first. Okay, I don't see.
Please rewind the clock. Please rewind the clock.
Rewind the clock, we'll start.
Rewind the clock. Rewind it. Okay, fine.
Great.
Starts now.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation. Very clear and great idea indeed. I see you've been developing the games over time. You gave the trend from 2014 to now. My question to you is, I'm assuming obviously you've already had beneficiaries or clients utilizing it. What is the result from a learning point of view? The interesting part is that you're producing something that also has an element of public health. So while we're looking at the business side of things, and I'll leave the floor to others who also ask questions on that, I'm interested in understanding the educational outcome.
Okay.
Now, for the game, for example, I'll give you an example. I have Sue. I'm going to explain the rules of the game. You're going to understand in Sue, because from A through 5 is very important. And the remaining is talking about the menstrual. So we have the boxes for sexual intercourse, risky sexual intercourse. The part talk about the different the preservatives, the condoms, you see, and then that they have to have the tools that they need for their hygiene. So if he's in the box of risky pregnancy, they have to use preservatives, for example. So this helps them to learn to protect themselves and to know all what has to do with the menstrual cycle. It's just mostly for the kids at the beginning of the puberty.
I saw what is your ask, but I didn't get, maybe I missed it. What's the cost of developing one of the games?
For the game Sue, for example, we spent it's around $10. About $10 to produce Sue. For the other games, these are just card games. It's about $5 to make one game, without having so much in terms of expenses. For Sue, for example, we sell it for $15.
More context on how you will position yourself in the market, their competition, how do you see your competitors, and how will you position yourself in the market?
We already have a company which is specialized in creation of this ludic content. So it's another game for us because we already have some type of already fame, already known. It's going to be for us to have success because we already have many companies that have consumed our products. So we have also developed relations.
Hello, a round of applause once again to the innovator that just pitched. Now, to remind you all, we have interpretation services, languages. For French, it's 2, and for Portuguese, 3. So the pre-current innovator, we would like to give you 2 more minutes as every other innovator that will be needing interpretation. If you have anything that you would want to clarify, or if the judges have anything they want to clarify or to ask about, for 2 minutes, you're welcome back to the stage. And we'll do the same for every interpreter that will need interpretation. Thank you. The one that just spoke, we are adding 2 minutes to your time because you needed interpretation. We believe it's fair for you to have 2 more minutes. So if you have anything you want to clarify, talk about in those 2 minutes. And if the judges have any other question, you're welcome on the stage for that.
You had a question?
Thank you so much.
2 minutes starts now.
Thank you so much, Anito. I think I rarely find social impact solutions that also have quite like a sound business model. I think you've got a really good opportunity to scale it even outside of your country. I think you really need a strong business development team because I see you're really doing a good job in terms of the branding. It looks good, but also just the whole design. I think would be interested to see if you could spread word out to Unfpa country offices and see if you could replicate that all around. But then the other thing as well is on your target. Do you target tertiary? Do you target, primary or secondary education? If you could also be a bit more clear there, so you have a narrowed down target, that you also identify who your competitors actually are. Some of them might actually be your partners than your competitors. Yeah.
You have 40 seconds.
Yes. We have age which is recommended for the games. For Sue, it's from 8. Pre-puberty age. For Rakamouse, from 15. Actually, from 5 years they can play. For Gay, for those who are above 12 years. 12 years.
Merci.
Thank you very much once again. Thank you to all the 4 innovators. A round of applause to the resilience, to the bravery. Thank you for your solutions and presenting them. We're going to take a 5 minutes break before we get to the other 4 innovators. In this 5 minutes break, please feel free to walk outside, take a break, whichever you like, a health break, pick some coffee or tea or something to drink at the back. Network, say hello to the people you haven't said hello to, take a picture, tweet, hashtags, same thing. If you haven't registered and you're here, we would like to keep your contact, so please scan the QR code and share the link to whoever wants to join us online. Thank you. 5 minutes from now.
I was saying that the position is not good. It's really not good. So you and I met here in Rwanda because I used to be the SRP. I was seeing you when the yes, you changed it. Oh, really? Yeah. You were so shy. I was so shy. Super shy. I was super. You were super shy.
everyone is ready. I hope the judges, are you ready for the next speech?
Very.
Good, thank you. Our next innovator is Mahandri Adremahe, and I would like the audience to give a round of applause to Mahandri.
Mahandri, your time begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mahanj, and I'm from Madagascar. Can I have the clicker?
As the technical team provides us with a pointer, please, I would like to request the people that are pitching, that will be pitching not in English and need translation, to kindly try to slow down for the interpreters to get your message. Thank you. Good luck. We're bringing you the pointer.
The pointer is... Mahandri, your time begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Mahanj, and I'm from Madagascar. Today, I will bring you into the Tanora Salama's world, where social media are used for promoting sexual health. For a good understanding of the project, allow me to share some facts about my country with you. Madagascar is located in the Indian Ocean, 400 kilometers off the southern coast of Africa. It has a population of 28 million, and 70% of them are young. Another fact, in Madagascar, the use of social media is increasing rapidly. At the beginning of this year, Facebook users reached 3.8 million and Messenger 1.09 million users. That marks an increasing of 28.8%, and the half of those audience are young people between 13 to 24 years. And statisticians expect that this trend will continue. Madagascar population is predominantly young, but they are facing significant challenges in sexual education. Many young people get involved in sexual activities at an early age, which leads to an early pregnancy. Why this happen? This happen because they don't have a trustworthy person to confide in, where they're just afraid to be judged for their question related to sex, which is a subject still taboo in some regions in Madagascar. So, knowing those problems, Tanora Salama was born. In fact, Tanora Salama means healthy youth. It is an initiative dedicated to the sexual health of young people in Madagascar. It gives access to reliable sexual health advice through a virtual assistant powered by AI in the form of a chatbot on Facebook and Messenger. And today, we are seeking partners for helping us to reach more young people and change lives. Together, let's create a better informed and healthier generation. Now, I invite the judge and the audience to make some tests with the chatbot. You can scan the QR code on the flyer or the one displayed on the screen, send greeting message, and start to interact. So, Tanora Salam offers a secure and confidential space to fill the gap in sexual education. It acts like a trustworthy confidant, allowing young people to openly discuss questions related to sex. It gives advice and guide toward appropriate solution. The chatbot is easy to use, accessible, free, and multilingual. It contributes to environmental protection by reducing waste related to paper for awareness raising, reduce environmental impact linked to unnecessary transportation and medical infrastructures. It helps to identify the high-risk area that need immediate intervention through the interaction with the chatbot, and statistics may as know the real needs of young people. So it is tool decision-making. It also responds to sustainable development goals. It promotes good health, quality education, promote gender equality, promote peace and partnership for goals. Our roadmap includes developing the AI, creating educational content in collaborating with medical experts, engaging partnership with local organizations, collecting data, and improving the chatbot. So far, we've already created our page, we've already created the chatbot, and have two partners. The first is Santé Jeune Madagascar, which is an organization of young doctors that will help us to validate the content of the chatbot. And the second is Saramba Initiative, an organization exclusively led by women that will help us to work with the empathic part of the chatbot. So now we are in the prototype development, but we will launch it next year. So on June, we'll reach our first 1,000 users, and after 2 years, we'll be present in national level. We will reach non-connected people, and we'll have more partnership with hospitals and NGOs. So the young people can use the chatbot for free, but for developing our project, we'll get revenue from advertising, on-demand service like consultation, engaging partnership, and sponsored. That for the national growth, or why not international growth of our project. So from those activities, we expect to earn profit. On 2025, we expect to have $7,000, and that will increase little by little. But for starting the project, we need an investment of $10,000. So the competitive advantage of Tanora Salama is that the fact that it is exclusively focused on young people's sexual health with an AI interaction that allows personalized real-time response while ensuring users' anonymity. Ladies and gentlemen, this project was conducted by myself and my co-founder, Ms. Anicia. We are both marine science students, but we are passionate about new technologies. Dear public, dear potential partners present here, together, let's walk hand in hand for realizing this project. Support Tanora Salama for giving the young people the chance to make the right choice for their futures and for the future of the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Question and answer time. Time begins now.
Thank you so much. That was really good. You are working with an AI model, and you are having a solution in health. It's going to be giving advice, counseling. I would like to know how ethical the model is in terms of what data was it trained on, so that, as you know, AI can also be misleading sometimes. What are some of those steps you're taking to make sure that you can at least have that under control? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Well, we are working AI model, and as I mentioned before, we also work with an organization composed by young doctors. So we are still in the prototype phase, but we are starting to train the AI. This example is we deployed it for making a test, but in fact it's still on building. We are working with those doctors for validating the information in the chatbot.
Zainab?
Thank you very much. My first question was very much in line with what the other judge had in terms of trying to, in terms of protection and data and also validation. But then you did mention that you have a partner. And do I understand correctly that this is solely linked to Facebook? Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. For the moment, we deploy the chatbot in Facebook, but after having partnership with some operators, the chatbot will be able to reach non-connected people through USSD message. But that needs a strong partnership.
All right. And then in terms of data collection, protection, and also anonymity, because you did say that it's going to be anonymous, but I assume that if you already have a
about the anonymity. There wouldn't be anyone who will interact with the users, only the chatbot. And when the chatbot interact with them for giving effective information, it will only ask about their gender and their age and their address. And second, in the part of investment, we'll invest much on privacy protection. We will work with developers for the security. We will make sure that no information will come out. No one can hack it.
Just maybe a follow-up question. You say you ask gender, age, and address. That is already enough to identify a person. Or why don't we look into something that really keeps, why do we need the address, for instance?
We need the address, for instance, you ask for the nearest hospital that can take you in charge, and the chatbot can advise. If you live in Atananarivo, for example, it will lead you to the nearest hospital near to you is Hashera. For example, you are in Kigali, and the chatbot will indicate you the nearest hospital that can take you in charge.
That's risky, though. From a privacy point of view, it's risky. Because if I give you my address, you know exactly who I am. I think maybe one thing that we need to reflect on a little bit, especially because you're using AI, and I don't know how much of that AI is utilizes public AI sources. So I think a little bit more thinking around the privacy and cybersecurity, I think, is key.
Okay, we will work on that. Thank you for your recommendation.
Time is up.
Thank you for the energy, Madagascar. Thank you, Kenya. Thank you, South Sudan. Thank you, Mozambique. Thank you, everyone. We're moving forward to our sixth innovator. Are we all ready? Now, I would like again to remind innovators, kindly please try, I know the pressure is real, stage fright and etc., but can you please try to also slow down so that the interpreters can get everything you're saying to ensure that the judges get your project clearly. So up next, the sixth innovator, we have Marta Luisa Nanombe. You're welcome to the stage.
Thank you. So I will speak in Portuguese, so you can turn on your language channel, 1 to English, and 2 for French, sir. I'm
Marta, your 9 minutes starts now.
Obrigado. I'm Marta. I'm the founder of SolarGad and director of the project, Alternative Project. In Mozambique, we are 35 million of inhabitants. And most of them, 80%, they don't have access of decent energy services using firewood, coal, lighting oil, and candles. So this planogram affects 6,000 people, women, adolescents. They are ones responsible for, in accordance with WHO by 2020, 700,000 cases of lives adjust to disability and premature death caused by air pollution in families were recorded in Mozambique. So, and burning firewood release CO2, the main greenhouse gas contributor to climate change. So we have as a problems peri-urban and rural families without access to clean and affordable energy services, which negatively impacts their lives, especially for women and adolescents, which provokes health problems in relation to inhaling wood smoke and overload of domestic tasks and inequality in education opportunities and increase of catastrophic climate events due to CO emission. We have as a solutions installation of biodigester kits for peri-urban and rural families, transforming their organic waste into energy, which can be used in kitchen, lighting and heating, and fertilizer for their vegetables garden. So we have as project activities, we have participation in RA seminars and conferences, and participation in training and qualification, meetings with association and cooperatives, development of intensive marketing plan, and presentation of the partners of these raw materials. So in Mozambique, in Maputo, in 2023, with our partners for families peri-urbans, which are creators of farming families. So the community without access to energy, we are trying to improve also on that. In the project of 2023, we impacted 202 people were directly impacted, including 142 women stopped using firewood for cooking and kerosene for lighting. So we have different forms of ways. Our clients, they pay $450 for So we have as a difference, we differentiate our autonomy of our client of supplying the energy. Our systems are very, we can put in any waste so that it can provide energy, so that we can sell, so that the client can sell biofertilizer and get good revenue, or the director of our client can go for like 3 years. So our team has an engineer, which is an engineer of renewable energy, and we also have a chemical energy engineer, and he has experience in biogas area. So we opted to contract technicians, which are very which have high proficiency. So this, as the business revenue model, we have 70,000 as the highest. So we have we are going to invest of the part of this setting up of the systems so that we can invest in our managers. So saying this, everyone investing in us is asserting that we are going to help women, teenagers, so that they can change their lives, so that we can change the climate change right now. Thank you so much.
Question and answer time begins now.
Thank you so much. I see you're trying to solve, you're solving a problem of access to renewable energy. Mozambique, they're definitely, I think I've come across quite a few suppliers of biogas. So I was interested to also see some of that competition laid out, and what are some of those strategies you're going to use, if you could share with us on how you can beat your competition. So if you could address that, and also just to take the luxury, because I see my colleagues are not going to participate, but if you could also highlight on the, how do you reach out to, how do you scale out, because you are planting. Yes, so how do you scale out with plant digesters from location to location? I don't know if you got that.
Acho que sim, vou tentar.
I think so. I'm going to try to answer this. I had a technical problem, but it's okay. Saying that in Mozambique, not to say that we don't have other competitors. Where we came from, we sell kits where our clients can produce in their own house. So talking about rural families that they don't have energy. In Mozambique, 30% of the energy is peculiar. So we put them in their house and they produce their own energy at home. So until now, we are the only company which is known that is doing this, providing this service in this area. So right now we are the leaders of the market in our country. I don't know if I answered your question. Do you have any other question? Okay.
To what he asked, is your vision to stay only in Mozambique or to go beyond Mozambique? And if so, maybe a little bit of preparation for competition would work. What is your vision? Would you stay in Mozambique only or go beyond?
Thank you so much for the question. Initially, as I said, we are in Mozambique, but now we are trying to do partnership with other countries. For example, in Kenya, which is also leader in this area, we are trying to build experience so that we can expand our services. For example, Malawi, Zimbabwe, which are also areas that they don't have this part and is not well developed. We are in this process of building a partnership and try to diversify this area. Thank you.
Hello. How is it going? The room is getting a little cold. Are we afraid? Are people getting afraid? We're going to welcome our seventh innovator who's going, and we are almost close to the end because we have a total of 8 innovators. Thank you very much, Nanombe, for the presentation. Allow me now to introduce the seventh innovator, Marta Vanya Uyetela. Welcome to the stage. A round of applause.
Good day, everyone. My name is Marta Wetela, and I'm from Mozambique. And for
Marta, your time begins now.
Too excited. Hello, my name is Marta Wetela, and I'm from Mozambique. And for the past 8 months, me and my team have been trying to answer this question. What does it mean for a school-age girl to have access to a bicycle? Well, in Mozambique, 70% of the population relies on the public transportation. That is unfortunately inconsistent and insufficient. And that limits a lot of access to basic services like water, healthcare services, and education. What is critical for girls, young girls at the school age and young women at the rural area. But at the same time, we can collect 3 tons of plastic residuals like fish nets and PET bottles in only 1 hour. And we decided to turn this challenge into an opportunity. While we are doing it, we are basically transforming these fish nets and PET bottles into bicycles. First, to create more and better access to mobility for girls at the rural area so they can increase their frequency at school. And second, to reduce the distance between these girls, young girls at the school age, and young women to basic services like water and education. All this while we are creating this conscience around plastic pollution. Basically, our activities consist in 4 points. First one is to collab with local communities and coastal communities to actually collect this plastic and ensure that we have a supply chain. The second one is to actually build the bicycle. And the third one is to create awareness of what does it mean for a girl to have access to mobility? What does it mean to enhance her frequency at school, and in the medium and long term, what does it mean for this woman to actually reduce the distance, the time that she can have access to these services? And the 41 is to actually ensure that we get connected with strategic partners in production part, and to actually make sure that we keep the flow on the research itself. In terms of milestones, we were able during these 7 months to actually get a 100% production line, make a registration of the proprietor intellectual property, and secure the first partnership with 300 bicycles to basically share these bicycles with these girls until May of 2025. In terms of our business revenue, we will allocate bikes by co-founding and co-financing, communitary co-finance and co-financing. The second part is to actually collab with the government organizations and enterprises to ensure that we get these bicycles as part of the social responsibilities. And the third one is to actually ensure that we get connected with technical partners that will allow us to improve our production methodology. In terms of competition, we have Mozambiques in Mozambique, but we think that the fact that we actually get to collect and produce locally, and the fact that, again, we are using plastic residuals collected from the sea are an advantage. For the next 6 months, we plan to explore more of the Mozambican market, but there is a potential in coastal countries with a lot of coastal communities, for example, South Africa and Namibia. Our technical team is composed by young people that share enthusiasm and have a very strong background in engineering and product development. And we have been working with some stakeholders in the plastic transformation industry and mobility too. In terms of revenue,
you have 2 minutes.
We plan to create this flow in the revenue basically by selling these bicycles directly to the customers, and again have this collaboration with government and other companies to actually make sure that we get the bicycles into the social responsibility. So with $200,000, we can make sure that in the next 8 months, we get 3 350 girls with access to mobility using bike. So this is an invitation to join us to create more and better access to mobility and make sure that girls in the rural areas have opportunities, better financial opportunities, and access to mobility in a medium long term. Thank you.
Your question and answer time begins now.
Okay.
Thank you, Martha, for this innovative project. My question is around, the estimated cost per unit of a bicycle, because I see the production seems to be quite on the higher side. So how is it going to transit? What is the final price that a girl can acquire that bicycle? And what is your, have you already invested in the original cost for the production?
Yeah, yes, interesting question, because we were able in the past 7 months to actually build a local production. It's a more do-it-yourself. We can produce 2 bicycles a day, and the cost of production of a bicycle is $250. And I think it was clarified.
Just a follow-up question. So looking at the bicycle, I'm assuming that only the structure of the bicycle is with recycled plastic, and the seats, the wheels, all that you actually outsource.
Exactly.
Correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say 250, the cost of the bicycle, do you include also the wheels, the other parts that are not from recycled plastic?
Exactly.
Or, yeah?
Exactly. It's the total cost of the bicycle.
I think those other interesting questions have already been asked. Just in case there are other investors here listening, I would like to know your story. Did you start out as a bike company and then you jumped, you got interested in recycling waste and you see that as an innovative way? Or which one was the trend? Did you, if you have a story that you can share with us?
Sure, very interesting question too, because I was able to visit the north side of Mozambique. It's called Pemba, and there is a lot of plastic pollution over there. But one of the things that really had me to kind of like talk me to tackle this problem is the fact that while I was visiting Pemba, I saw all the pollution, but at the same time, girls taking a very long distances to actually get access to basic services like water. So I came back home to the south side of Mozambique, but there was something that never left my mind. So 7 months after, I was able to gather some friends, partners, and investors to actually join in this crazy idea to turn plastic waste into bicycles. Appreciate that.
Hi, Martha. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear and see you.
All right, then. Thank you. First, I see a very well structured presentation. Thank you for outlining your pitch very well, and I quite like that you have a direct focus on girls, and then it's trying to get them reduce the distance for school. I'm just very much, if you can maybe expand on the community co-funding. I saw something around that in your revenue source or thereabout. There was microfinancing, but also community co-funding, because I'm thinking some of these girls in this community might not be able to afford, or the families, some of these bikes, but I do know that you're going to partner, and then you're going to partner with local government and also companies. But I'm just thinking, what would then be around the cost? I don't know if it's something you can respond to already. What would be the cost of purchasing a bike around that? And is it something that, are you relying heavily on,
maybe if you just expand what community co-funding means, I'll have a better understanding. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. To elaborate, in Mozambique, we have this cultural thing. I would say that when a community want to have access to a thing, they do this thing called stiki, where basically there is a group of people that join money monthly to actually purchase something. So for 10 people, they can join $10 a month, and I have access to it.
Time
and the next
is
month,
up.
the other person. But thank you for the questions, and it was a very good challenge.
Thank you very much, Marta. Up next is Patricia Madong. Is that you? Yes. You're welcome.
Patricia, your time begins now. Sorry, let's hold the time.
Do you know how it feels to be left behind? Well, the painful part about being left behind is that the people who left you behind did not have you in mind. My name is Patricia Modong, and I'm the founder of Shinos. In the recent years in South Sudan, there has been adverse climate change in major regions in South Sudan, namely Unity, Warrap, Jonglei, Upper Nile, and Lake States. And because of that, there has been disruption of sexual reproductive health services because of damage in health facilities. There's also been reduced community outreach efforts to educate women and girls of reproductive age, therefore increasing gender-based violence and child marriage. Additionally, the sexual reproductive health resources that are available are tailored for English users, leaving behind women and girls of reproductive age who cannot speak English. And also, those resources might not necessarily be used by women in the same category who are disabled. And this is where Shinos comes in. So Shinos is a comprehensive digital platform that incorporates both online and offline features for women and girls of reproductive age affected by climate change. Some of its features are an information hub where they get both SRH and climate information, event calendar where they're able to get notifications on upcoming health events such as Menstrual Health Day, in-app counseling, where they're able to interact with counselors and get, mental health support, helpline, where they can be able to report real-time issues in terms of GBV and also climate change. There's a raise alarm feature where they can be able to report climate crisis and be given the support they need, and a facility locator where they can be able to locate a facility that offers sexual reproductive health services. Our target beneficiaries are women and girls of reproductive age, and our secondary users will be sexual reproductive health rights providers, as well as, that is in NGOs and government, as well as local climate agencies. So what is our market sizing? Because of increased mobile penetration rates, which is currently at 12.5% in 2023 alone, we anticipate that 500,000 women will have gained increased access. So we are looking to tap into that market and ensure that no woman of reproductive age is left behind. These are some of the project activities that we anticipate to do. We'll do continuous app development in terms of the design and user interface. We'll conduct a pilot testing with local women in the community, and from their feedback, improve the app. We're also going to do community outreaches to upscale the use of the app to the community. We are looking to partner with local SRH organizations as well as climate change organizations for localized content. We're looking at recruitment of staff. And lastly, integration of USSD code in the future for those women who might not necessarily have smartphones. So far, we've done focus group discussions with 200 women in the states, for instance, Unity, where we were able to get feedback, and that feedback we're able to use to come up with the app. There was also a team available. We currently have 3 counselors. The MVP is complete, and we have done partnerships with sexual reproductive health and GBV providers such as Unfpa, SADO, and Norwegian Church Aid. Our transformative impact in the future, we are looking at increased access to SRHR support, data contribution to improve data systems in our country by partnering with data institutions, coordination for climate adaptation at both state level and the national health. Our business revenue model looks at majorly partnership where NGOs will fund our campaigns and support the toll-free line services. We're looking at optional user-controlled ads that are health-focused by health sponsors, referrals on health products, and educational workshops for our users, and partnerships with data institutions where we'll give them anonymous and segregated data. As for our competition, Shinos has both SRH GBV information and has both offline and offline features with climate integration included. It's bilingual, and we are targeting a large number of users.
You have 2 minutes.
Women and girls affected by climate change. These are our able team who are experts in climate resilience. We have disability inclusion, local outreach, reproductive health experts, and technology advisor. This is our estimated cost, looking at the content development, the user face, the outreach, registration, hiring for 1 year, and operational cost. Our ask is that we get 50,000 USD to run the app and better reach our users. And we are looking at partnerships with SRHR, climate, NGOs for knowledge sharing and network expansion. And you're looking at mentorship on scaling digital health in low resource setting. Why is that? Because Shinos is not only an app, but it looks at empowering women and girls of reproductive health to take charge in reproductive health amidst the climate change. Thank you.
Your question and answer time begins now.
Thank you very much, Patricia. I have 2 quick questions. One is around the return on investment. I don't think I've understood very well the business model. I see that you have an ask for further development, but I don't see the return on investment. So if you can please elaborate a little bit more on that for me, thanks.
Okay, thank you for the question. So as for our business revenue model, we are looking at partnering with organizations, NGOs in particular, where they'll be able to maybe support the toll-free line services. We might be having campaigns that will be running, so they might be able to fund that, and that will go towards the app development. Secondly, we are looking to partner with that research and data institutions. We understand that in South Sudan currently data is an issue, and so by giving them anonymous and segregated data to inform their research, we are looking at getting resources to be able to direct to the app. We are also looking at research and affiliate marketing, where we'll partner with health organizations or health service market, where we'll be able to refer our users to some of their products, or also to be able to refer them to educational workshops should they be needed at a commission.
Does Zainab want to ask the question?
Yeah, thank you, Renata, for that. Thank you, Patricia. This is also a great idea and pitching that you've shared. I'm quite impressed. My only question is around you. I like that you acknowledge that not every woman per se or girls of reproductive age has access to internet, and then you say that the USSD feature would be integrated. So I'd like to know at what point would this perhaps be considered in terms of your activities or your development and
So, thank you for the question. So once we fully, our main focus now is to fully develop the app and keep it running. But after that, we are looking at integrating USSD code to further our reach. So firstly, we'll do the app development to completion, and then we continue integrating the USSD.
Do you have a question?
Thank you so much, Patricia. Looking at the stage that the solution is at, could you share with us any plans for your go-to-market strategy? Like, how do you plan to take it now from your offices into the actual, like, the beneficiaries? I understand that you're paying customers, your stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
And the beneficiaries are the final users.
Yes.
Okay, so just explain a bit on the go-to-market strategy, if you may.
So we are looking at doing community outreach. First of all, we'll partner with local organizations to ensure that the content is localized and also to further the reach of the apps. Then we go to the community and we talk with the community leaders, talk with the women groups, and be able to do community outreaches to upscale the use of the app. So that is our strategy.
We see we still have 1 minute. With everything that's to do, when we deal with technology, there's always an element of sustainability and sustainability of systems, not of software systems, fixing bugs, all that. Have you also factored the routine cost of maintaining technology, upgrading, and all that in your business model?
Yes, it is available. I would have shown you, but we have maintenance costs that would run. Yes, it's included. Thank you.
Hello once again. Hello. Good, awesome. I love to continue with the same energy I started with, so thank you for joining me in that. This has been an amazing and inspiring session. Hearing from all the 8 innovators from these countries is really mind-blowing. Thank you very much for your pitches. Thank you for staying sane with the anxiety. Thank you, judges, for taking the time to listen to these pitches. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will let the judges leave the room for deliberation, and the technical team can help you and find your way out as we do our next item. Yes. As the judges leave the room, I'd like to remind everyone that we had an initiative when we were starting that will let the audience vote who they think deserves the popular vote. Who is your favorite?
who pitched the best to you, what solution do you love the most. I would like to reiterate, though, that this has nothing to do with the top 2 winners and won't influence the choices the judges have to make, which is why I had to insist and wait for them to step out. So may I ask the technical team to please display a QR code, because you can only vote if you're registered. That is why I was asking you to register ahead of time. But if you have registered for this event and you're ready, please scan the QR code. That's the first step. Once you're done scanning the QR code, you will see a list of all innovators that pitched today, and you will choose who deserves the popular vote according to you.
5 minutes voting starts now.
Thank you very much.
5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes to vote. We're actually going to give you 2 minutes, but we believe that the internet might be slow, so 5 minutes. Yes, one person. The countdown is on. The best way to do it is to vote anonymously, so we are not biased or influenced by other people's choices. Again, to reiterate, this is just for fun and to celebrate the winner for the popular vote.
And the people at home,
votes are being displayed.
the people at home can vote. People online can also vote.
Yes, the people who are following online can vote by following the link that is in the description. Please look at the description and follow the link and vote.
Two minutes. You may display the results. $105 votes so far, 107 votes. 109. $114. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Voting closes.
Yay! Now I'll ask the technical team. Thank you very much. I'll ask the technical team to help me announce who the one is winning the popular vote. Can you please let us know who is winning the popular vote so we celebrate them? I see the audience already knows. You already know? Yes!
Closing at 50 votes from Madagascar is Mahandri.
Congratulations for winning the popular vote, Mahandri, and we will have a picture with the judges later on when they join back the room to celebrate you. Again, to reiterate, so that you do not get biased, these judges are outside the room, so they don't know who the popular vote is, and this won't influence their judging. I would like now to come back to our agenda and allow me, please, to welcome our next speaker. Are we ready or are we still celebrating? I see a few movements. Hello? Hello? Hello, team? Yes, I would like to request the attention of the youthful team on the other end for the next remarks. You're going to allow me to welcome on stage Ms. Tanora Salama, the Director General of Youth Empowerment from the Ministry of Youth, Rwanda. Please put your hands together and welcome Director General Salama. You're welcome on stage.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Madagascar, young people. I know we have high-level representatives from Unfpa, all protocols observed. A very good morning and warm welcome to each and everybody to Kigali. Those from Rwanda, can you please clap louder so that we can welcome others? You cannot understand how much we are very excited to have you join us in this EcoPrint Africa Summit of 2024. And as always, Rwanda is open. We are very much happy that you are going to not only learn from this summit a lot of things about how we can create more jobs for young people through innovative skilling, but also you are going to explore the beauty of Rwanda and particularly Kigali. We expect you to also visit a lot of attractive places that are around the city, so that once you are back home, you can tell other young people there that Kigali is beautiful and that Rwanda is open for them to come. I am very sure that it was very easy for you to be able to fly to Rwanda, and that is one of the things that the government of Rwanda is pushing so that we can put into implementation the resolutions of the FCFTA for free movement of people and goods. So today's session is a blend of two beautiful things. I was telling the team from UNFPA that actually these are two things that people do not usually put together: climate and sexual reproductive health. I don't know if for you have ever seen that, but this session is a particularity. So how can young people innovate and solve challenges around sexual reproductive health and climate? Joined a bit late. I was not lucky to follow up the pitches, but I know you guys have beautiful ideas, great innovations that are going to solve challenges in those two arenas. And I know that the support you're going to get from UNFPA and their partners is going to help you to achieve your dreams and go further. And Africa is going to move forward because of its young people, and its young people, it's you, it's us. And it's those small steps together that are going to contribute to us young people building the Africa we want. So to wrap up, we are very much excited as the government of Rwanda to host you in Kigali with our partners UNDP and MasterCard Foundation and all other partners who contributed to making this summit a success. I'm very sure that the sessions will give you more skills, knowledge that will help you to achieve your dreams when you go back to your country. Warm welcome once again, and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Another round of applause and appreciation to Director General Tanora Salama. Thank you very much for your remarks. Now we are coming close to the end, actually to the end of the program of today's session, but I would like to let you know that you shouldn't be leaving the room after the closing remarks. We have a few group pictures to take, so please stay behind. And I'll have a few more announcements to make after the closing remarks. Now, allow me to welcome Mr. Bernice Biamukama, representing the Africa Development Bank, with a round of applause and welcome them on stage. You're welcome, Bernice.
Distinguished honorable members, the Director General, the head of UNFPA, distinguished competitors, and all the delegates who have come here to pitch your ideas to us, ladies and gentlemen. So on behalf of the country manager of the African Development Bank, Madame Aïssa Touré, it's my pleasure really to congratulate you on this day when distinguished participants, you come to provide us with innovative ideas on how we can help, we can solve the pressing challenge of climate change and sexual reproductive health challenges that are associated. We are very, as the bank, we are proud to partner with UNFPA in this noble occasion. So I will read my written, to keep on the script, read the written speech. Yeah, but just probably I will just intervene to clarify some issues where things are not quite as clear. So we thank you for this incredible journey that you have gone through. As we conclude the late Climate Change Hacklab, we are filled with a sense of hope and inspiration, witnessing the power of innovation and collaboration in action. So we began this journey with a shared understanding that climate change is one of the pressing challenges of our time. We acknowledge that young people, particularly girls, are disproportionately impacted by climate change, facing threats to their education, their health, and well-being. Yet amidst these challenges, we see the unwavering spirit of young innovators. We have just witnessed an incredible group of young people, sharing their ideas with us. At a personal level, I haven't been involved in this exercise, and I can tell you it has been quite very impressive to me as a judge, but also I have quite learned a lot from you, from your ideas. So watching these innovators pitch their solutions has been a melting pot for creativity and ingenuity. We have seen 8 remarkable innovators from across East and Southern Africa, each with a unique vision for climate-resilient future. You've poured out your hearts and minds in developing solutions that address the interconnected challenges of climate change adaptation and sexual reproductive health and rights. From Kenya to Madagascar to Mozambique to Sudan, your diverse perspectives have enriched our discussions and broadened our understanding on the complexities we face. Your dedication to this Hacklab has been truly remarkable. You've embraced the opportunity to learn, grow, refine your ideas, transform them into viable solutions that have the potential to create real impact. The energy and passion you've brought to this space has been contagious, reminding us the transformative power of youth leadership. This Climate Hacklab is not just about identifying innovative solutions, it's about building a movement. It's about empowering young people to be agents of change and equipping them with tools and resources to make a lasting difference in their communities. Your pitches showcased not only your innovative solutions, but also your deep understanding of the challenges at hand and your unwavering commitment to drive positive change. There will only be 2 winners chosen today. However, know that each and every one of you has made a significant contribution to this Hacklab and to your communities. Your ideas have the power to inspire and catalyze action, and I have no doubt that you will continue to make waves in the field of climate innovation and reproductive health. I extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who made this Hacklab possible. Thank, in particular, Unfpa and all the partners, and also, get the opportunity to tell you that the African Development Bank is a proud partner for being associated with this exercise. So, I want also to acknowledge the YASAD communication company. Thank you for your unwavering support and collaboration in making this event a reality. And to our incredible audience today, your presence and engagement has enriched the experience for everyone involved. So I'm confident that the seeds of innovation planted during this Hacklab will blossom into tangible solutions that create a more sustainable and equitable future for all. Let us continue to work together, amplifying the voices of young people and harnessing the power of innovation to build a world where everyone can thrive regardless of climate change. Congratulations to all of you, and let's keep hacking for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernis. This session has been nothing short of inspiring to me, and I hope you feel the same way about it. And we are coming to the end of the session, but like I mentioned, we would like to take a few pictures, a few group pictures, and I would request the technical team to support with removing this for pictures. The first group picture is going to be, guess what it is going to be? Of course, the innovators. The people that are gathering us here today, the 8 innovators from all these countries that I mentioned, please join the stage for a group picture. Yes, please. Here. Pay attention, look at the camera. Yes, please stay there. I'll ask the judge, are you done with this group picture? Good. Please, I'll ask the judges and our honorable guests to join the picture, please. Anyway. It would be great if we are mixed up, so judges do not stand alone. Please stay on the stage. We have one more group picture. Now to the team behind all this work, the technical team. Can you please join the stage, and we will try to, some of the people will have to maybe stand in front. Please join the picture. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the time and the pictures. As you join your seats, oh, so yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you very much. I would like to request the Honorable Minister to stay and take a few group pictures with representatives from other countries. Can we start the finalists? Can we start with Kenya, please? People from Kenya, innovators from Kenya, join the stage and take a picture with Honorable Minister. Yes. Yes. Awesome, inspiring. Up next, South Sudan, would you please run to the stage? South Sudan, please run to the stage for a picture. Awesome. Good, good. Can we also ask Mozambique to come to the stage, please? Quickly, quickly, quickly. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for honoring these innovators and taking pictures with them. Thank you again for staying with us. I would like to end with a beautiful announcement that we're sharing lunch, and it's going to be upstairs, but you will need a voucher for that. So I'll ask Natalia and the technical team to please give out the cards, the vouchers for lunch. Natalia is at the back. Please wave. Yes. So as you step out, you can get your voucher for lunch and enjoy your lunch. I would like to also say that the winners will not be announced today and will not be announced any other day other than the final and closing day of the Youth Connect Africa Summit, which is going to be Sunday at the Kigali Convention Center. So hope to see you there for us to know who the winner was. Thank you.